I went to jail one time. That taught me my lesson. I was in there. I had on this orange jumpsuit that was way too big. And the shower was so stank and so nasty. And the food was just disgusting. It looked inedible. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Dakota Daily Show. And I am your host, Dakota Rain. So let's get into these current events. What is going on in Georgia, y'all? Everything that I have is coming from Georgia tonight. So legal officials are going crazy in Georgia. We got some PPP scams going on in Georgia, some people going to prison. Shannon Sharp, who's originally from Georgia, had 21 Savage on the show. And I personally feel like he was doing some damage control from the statement that was released out there on him. And I'm not going to say that it offended me what he said because I know who I am. I know what kind of woman I am. But he threw some shade allegedly. But I got some updates on that one. And also we have Jess Hilarious is in Atlanta. Let's get into it. So, first, it was the mayor of Pineview, and now it is a city councilwoman who has joined the legal ranks, or should I say, the illegal ranks in Georgia. So, the mayor of Pineview, Georgia, Brandon Holt, was arrested and charged with 75 counts of theft. He is the one that the GBI has been investigating, and you see this all over the internet, all over YouTube. It's a really big thing. He was charged, y'all, 75 counts? 75 counts of theft? I would be falling out. Do you know how long that's going to be in jail or prison if that sticks? Apparently, the DA and the sheriff in his county initiated an investigation through the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. They asked them to look into what was going on. Apparently, they felt something wasn't right. And what's crazy is the town doesn't even have 500 citizens. And he's so young, he's only 34. Maybe that's part of the problem. What are you thinking? You're getting this money from these people with only 500 people? That's really sad. Also, you have a city councilwoman from Commerce, Georgia. These are unrelated. I thought they were related at first. But Rashonda Merritt was arrested for drug charges. Yes, after authorities received information that she was selling marijuana out of her house. This happened in Commerce, like I said, and the sheriff office received some information. They contacted the GBI, and it eventually led to the 43-year-old councilwoman who was just elected last year, at the end of last year, being charged with a criminal attempt to commit a sale of marijuana and the use of telecommunications facilities to facilitate a felony. I have never heard of that. They be having some new charges out now, y'all, but the use of a telecommunication facility to facilitate a felony? Do you think she was doing the thing like Canaan, raising Canaan, power raising Canaan and using got the pagers going or whatever? Cause what is that? I gotta look that up. That's gonna bother me. Also, PPP prosecutions are on the rise. You know, a couple of years ago, they did say, "Hey, we're gonna give you guys this money, but we're gonna look into it." You know, we don't have time to look at it right away because the world is in crisis right now, and we got to lend a hand in that. But just know if you're committing a crime to get this money, we will find you. And that's just what they did with Pamela Denise Williams of Georgia. She was sentenced to almost 3 years in federal prison plus 5 years probation. So Homegirl has to do 33 years in a federal prison, which is so much better than the state prison, but it's still prison. And then she's got to be under the eye of Big Brother for 5 years. She took a plea deal, of course, and she took $1.5 million in relief funds for a daycare. Her daycare is called Loving Child Care, and she admitted, because part of the plea deal is you're going to plead guilty, and she admitted to inflating her business income for a larger bag. Homegirl said that she had enough employees to where she needed this $1.5 million to pay these employees. And what you don't know, or what you may not know, how the PPP loan works, it's not to improve your business, it's not to start a business, it is the Paycheck Protection Program. It was to keep the economy from just going crazy with everything shut down. It was to pay your workers their salary, whether they were paid biweekly, weekly, monthly, whatever it was, but you're supposed to take this money and continue to pay them until things got better to keep the doors of your business open. And she took a plea deal. She admitted to it, and the PPP loan, she didn't have to pay that back, but she has to turn over $121,000 of the money, and that's probably maybe all they can see. Oh my goodness, I know she didn't run through $1.5 million and only got 121,000 to show for it. She also has to pay a fine of $15,000, which some you might say that's not that bad if she's hiding the money. She has to do 3 years in prison. I went to jail one time for thinking it was a game. I just had this protest. I felt like the cop gave me my ticket in the wrong, and I was playing around, hanging out with my friends. I was really young, and I didn't go back to court, and I didn't pay what they told me I had to pay because I just felt like it was so unfair. As a matter of fact, I don't think I went to court because I asked one of my homeboys, I was like, what'll happen if I don't go to court? He was like, oh, you just need to pay your ticket by the date that's on the ticket and you'll be fine. I didn't do either of them. And I messed around and got pulled over. Probably, I know it has something to do with a headlight, and I think it was for the same headlight, but whatever. I got pulled over, and I went to jail, and everybody that could have got me out of jail was out of town. So it was on a Friday. I had to sit there. As a matter of fact, when my sister came back Sunday, it was like the cutoff time for bailing people out or whatever, for something like that. And I had to wait until that Monday. It smelled so bad. It was so dirty. And everybody was on their period. And then they had like the cheapest pads. They didn't even have any tampons. And then I had on this orange jumpsuit that was way too big. And the shower was so stank and so nasty. And the food was just disgusting. It looked inedible. That taught me my lesson. I said, I don't see how people do stuff to go. But I'm not doing it. I'm doing whatever I gotta do to live right and stay up out of there. So coming up, we're gonna get into this Jess Hilarious thing and 21 Savage on Club ShayShay. But first, I gotta pay some bills, y'all. I put my time and my effort trying to edit everything. I had so many problems. I started recording this on Wednesday, but it's coming out on Thursday by the time I get through with the editing. This I'm feeling out equipment and stuff, trying to get my microphones together to see what I like. I got the software down packed. I went back to the original software that we used to use when I first started radio before we switched to Adobe. So I'm feeling that, but I had some issues with a microphone that I bought that everybody was like, you need this kind of microphone. So I had to go back to the headphones with the microphone on it, and it would not record. It was crazy. Like I had to have both of them plugged up for whatever reason. If I unplug the supposed to be nice microphone, if I unplug that one, the headphones won't work. So I had to plug it back up for the headphones to work, but they were working just fine next week. So I'm gonna have to get a switcher. But anyway, listen to these commercials and I will be right back. And also, when I come back, we're going to get into the top 5 reasons why your restaurant can't keep workers. And I'm doing it as a series. So last time we did number 5. This is number 4 coming up. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Dakota Daily Show, episode number 5. We're in season 2 now, and I am your host, Dakota Rain. Man, it's about to start raining again. We went from freezing the past couple of weeks to now it's just like it's crazy weather all over the US, and they found frozen alligators in South Carolina. It was just that cold that they found frozen alligators. It's crazy. I wonder what the snakes and stuff are doing. So guys, let's get into this. Jess Hilarious allegedly being fired from the Breakfast Club before she even had her first day of work. So this has been out there for a while, but I couldn't really get any information. And I don't want to talk about a particular topic that bad. I don't care how hot it is. If I can't really find facts and it's mostly theories, I'm not going to bring it up, especially on this show, because this show is basically facts. Now, I got the Dakota Rain show coming up, and we're going to be discussing topics and just putting in our 2 cents and stuff. And it's going to be a visual podcast. It's coming out in March, but this is not that show. So I know you've seen the trending news that Jess Hilarious was allegedly fired from the Breakfast Club after supposedly announcing that she was the new host. No one can answer what really happened. I watched a couple of podcasts on YouTube. They have some clips going out there of people trying to ask Charlemagne, catching him on the streets, asking him what really happened. He couldn't, of course, he said he didn't know. That's, he doesn't get into that business or whatever. Yeah, maybe he's just a host and he doesn't know anything, but I really don't believe that. But of course he's not gonna say anything. But apparently people are really feeling just hilarious. Like that's who people want. So I don't know what their reason is, the producers or whatever, for not keeping Just Hilarious, but there are some speculations. And these could probably be correct because when I was in radio, mostly did producing in the beginning. Then I got on the air. We went through several different companies. I think it was 3 times over the years, 3 different that we changed hands as far as ownership. And that last time, that corporation, which was the smallest of all of them, they owned the least radio stations across the country. They started making everybody sign these payola agreements, which you do have to sign that. That is a thing, and payola is basically like this contract saying that you're not going to take money under the table to boost the artist up or whatever. You're not going to be like the mole undercover, just working there just to, for your own benefit or the benefit of some artist or record label or AR. But they started saying everybody had to sign contracts, basically committing to that radio station, that little bitty check. You had to commit your likeness, your social media, all the stuff that's your intellectual property. They wanted a piece of it. And I'm just like, no, I'm not signing that. So some people are alleging that that's probably it because that's where radio has gone in their last attempt to not die, because radio is really dead. Streaming has really killed radio, and I've seen that coming for years. I mean, I'm probably not the person that predicted it, but I predicted it without even hearing anything on the news or whatever when streaming, because I'm a tech person. That's how I got into radio. Because I love the media, the culture, I love music, technology. But technology always kind of trumps the old school, especially with the way that we live in this world. So it's been speculated that either she agreed to take the job or she was offered the job and announced it, and the ink wasn't there on the contract yet, and she got the contract and it wasn't enough money, and that is radio. They expect you to be glad to be there, and they look at whatever endorsements you get that's a part of your salary, and you should be happy. It's a privilege just to be on the air representing us. That's how they feel. That's why I left and wanted to be independent. Also, it was speculated on this particular podcast that she didn't want to sign the contract as far as the money versus giving up a lot of control over herself, her image, her career, her intellectual property. And I can understand that because she is self-made. As a matter of fact, she is super self-made, and she really doesn't need that show. She doesn't need it. She does movies. She did really good in that true story, the with the first lady of BMF. She did really good. And some other things. I think she's a good actress. She's always doing stuff with Country Wayne. Those skits and stuff. He gets paid pretty well, so and he pays well. So he says. So I think that it just wasn't worth it. Sooner or later, maybe it'll come out. Maybe she'll address it, or maybe she feels like it's nothing to talk about, or maybe she's not talking about it because there's still a chance. They're still in negotiations. Maybe they really want her. And I know you're probably saying, "Oh, you just said you didn't deal in speculations or theory." I don't deal with conspiracy theories. That is those are all legitimate things that go on in the industry, and they influence things a lot. You know, wanting you to sign your life away on a contract and wanting to pay you a small amount of money. Radio is very cheap. And I want to know one thing. If you guys haven't noticed, the big question is why can't these talk shows keep hosts all of a sudden? Why are they looking for a host to kind of add the spark back to the fire? And why are their numbers down on these shows, these very popular shows like TGIF? They haven't settled on a replacement for Funky Dineva yet, and they're keeping the door open. They're the remaining hosts, Claudia and Al. They've been hinting that they straight out said it. They feel like that was a good chemistry and they miss working with Funky Dineva or Quentin Q, whatever you want to call them now, and they want them back. And I'm pretty sure the network wants them back, and they haven't forbade them to say anything like that. And now he did say, Funky Dineva did say, out of all the places, they do get a lot more room to say what they want to say and put their own opinions. All of them have said that. Yeah, that's something to think about. And they haven't been able to replace him. They're doing a weekly host, a different host every week thing. But corporate radio really does want a piece of all of your pie and the recipes and the ingredients and the name on the box and the picture on the box. That's how they get down. Okay, let's go into this 21 Savage. If you guys haven't heard, 21 Savage allegedly made this statement. I don't know where he made it at, if it was social media, a tweet, or whatever, because I have been looking for this and I have not seen it. But it was a lot of people reporting on it last week. I think I went back as far as there was information on it for 3 weeks ago. So last week would have been the second week. And sometimes people make stuff up with Photoshop or whatever. So I don't know if he really said it, but if he did, I think he went on. Why wouldn't he go on Club ShayShay for once? Because I mean, I was kind of upset that he said it, but I wasn't angry when he said that what modern women are today, and that we just want to sell our poontang, and modern women are basically prostitutes, whatever. And he called us some bitches, allegedly. He wasn't talking like that on Club ShayShay. He was actually very human on there. Very transparent, very vulnerable. He seemed like a legit character. If he did say those things, Club Shay Shay would definitely, I feel like it would give him that damage control. But the statement was really underground viral, and like I said, I haven't found any proof. I saw a screenshot, but I don't know if it's real. But he's supposed to be saying R&B is not a thing anymore because dudes don't want to serenade hoes and prostitutes. They don't have anything to sing about anymore. And I can actually kind of say that. It's sad that a lot of dudes are co-signing with it because that's not the answer. We need to really just talk about this. And he also could have been just, I don't know what the previous topics were that led up to that particular statement in the interview. Like I said, I can't find the original post anywhere. That's neither here or there. It was a lot deeper than that on his about his life. His life was really a mess starting out. He grew up really poor. He built a lot of character, and he actually talked with a lot of sense. I don't know what would make him get those tattoos on his face like that, but he had to really been going through it. Well, he was going through it on the inside. He talked about dealing with the neglect of his father a lot. That was a big thing. His brother got killed in front of him, right next to him. it kind of pushed him to go into rap and to leave the streets alone. But he's definitely not one of those studio actors. I will give you that. Now, I will be the first to say or admit that I wasn't exactly a fan of 21 Savage ever, especially calling yourself a savage. And that statement that he supposedly released, a lot of people have been going in on him, especially educated people, educated women, because they kind of got offended. Because, yeah, this group of educated black women that kind of bully the other women that aren't where they are, but you also have another group that they kind of take up for all educated black women. So we're going to take another break. I got to take another commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to get into reason number 4 of the top 5 reasons why you can't keep workers in your restaurant. All right. We are back on the Dakota Daily Show, and I am your host, Dakota Rain. And we're working on this series, the top 5 reasons why you can't keep workers in your restaurant. Let's go straight into the number 4 reason why you can't keep workers in your food business. So, if you don't know, I used to cater when I worked in cheap ass radio and I needed money, and I love cooking, I love food. If you don't follow me on social media, you need to, because you will see that I really love going to good restaurants that have great food, not necessarily always expensive food or a certain type of experience. It could be a food truck, but if it's good, I love it. And I also love to cook. I just really love food. So the food business was actually my first job in high school, and it's very dear to my job. I mean, very dear to my heart because I feel like the food business kind of shaped my work ethic. It's no kind of in it. It did shape my work ethic. So, and because I love food and I want to see the restaurants make it. I want to see the employees happy. I want to see the managers, being efficient. I mean, because food is a big part of the economy. If you have a restaurant and it's good and it's ran right, especially in a town like this one, a tourist town, you can make some serious money. Like it's a very lucrative business. And it's also nothing to play around with. You should, respect it or whatever. So reason number 4 is management. And for years I wanted to be a manager so bad. I just got tired of being a regular worker when I was in the industry. And I finally did get to be a manager. But I wasn't like a upper level manager, so I still had to be up under other managers. And so you have more say so. You can kind of make sure that location or that business is running right. But you get a lot of pushback because you're not like the head woman in charge or the head person in charge. You're just in charge when you're there and they're not there. But they can easily mess you up when it comes to your inventory. Another manager can mess you up when it comes to the safe or other employees. They could be the ones, like we talked about that last week. Owners run people off, other managers do. So, management. And we got 4 points on those. It could be that your management is messy. They're fraternizing amongst the employees, getting their business, spreading their business, talking too much about their own personal business. I worked somewhere where one of the managers was going through something. It was basically a lot of teenagers working, and they didn't have a lick of respect for her. They did not work well for her. The place was a mess. They did not perform their job because they knew too much of what she was going through with her husband and her kids and her bills, because that's what all she wanted to talk about at work. And restaurants are way too busy for you to have anything else to just stand around and talk about and be on your phone. There's always something that you could be cleaning or stocking or doing. And some managers are just dumb. They shouldn't be in that position. Maybe it was a family member or however they got the job. But I'm here to tell you, if you got a dumb manager in your business, they are going to run your employees off because people can see straight through a dumb person from a mile away. And if everybody else in there is trying to do their job and that person is just dumb and they're tripping over that person's feet, they're going to get gone and go somewhere else. Because let's face it, they're not. striving to build a heart surgeon career, those jobs, you can just go anywhere and pick up where you left off. Or even better, you can skip ahead a couple of steps if you don't like where you are. Clueless. If they're not communicating, they're not checking the inventory, they don't really know your systems, and they're not coming in and doing what they need to do, and they don't know what's going on, but they're trying to call some kind of shots, that will run your workers off. You will not keep them. And finally, loyalty. If you have some really good workers, some very loyal workers, and those workers are working their butts off, they're actually running the business because most businesses, the employees run it. Well organized business, the employees are they're going to be the stars of the show, and the management is just there to make sure they have the inventory, drop the money at the bank, do the schedule right. But if you have some good workers and you're not loyal to them the way they're loyal to you, they're not going to be dumb with their loyalty. They're going to go somewhere else. If you're giving them the work schedules, they can't get off of their kid's birthday party or whatever, or they plan this vacation and you knew about it, but you changed it because you're like friends with whoever in there that's not really doing their job, or you're just switching it up on them all the time, and you have no loyalty. Oh, baby, they gone. They are out of there. I hope you find this helpful and you rearrange your business accordingly. If you are having these problems, I really hope this opened your eyes and can help you so I can come by and get me something to eat, some of that good food. Now, I want to add this. You really do need structure in your business. If you don't have a business plan for your restaurant, you need to get one. If you don't have a business plan, if you're listening to me and you're in entertainment or an influencer or whatever, you need to get one. It's very important. And if you don't believe me, Forbes just did an article called "Do I Really Need a Business Plan for My New Business?" You need a business plan for any business. They basically described a business plan as a guide to help you stay on track and informed and make informed decisions that are crucial for your success and your longevity. I put the longevity part in there. They stopped at success. It's very necessary for investors because you don't want to, I mean, if you got 100K to start a business, you don't want to put that in there. You want to take out a loan because anything could happen, especially if you don't have your business set up as a LLC or corporation or something where those assets are separated from your personal assets. Because you can take a loss in that business and start again tomorrow. But if you put all your money in there, no, I would not put my cash in the business. No, I don't care how much you got it. You don't do that. That's not good business sense. But you need those for loans. You need those for investors. If you want to sell, you need a business plan. If you just want to scale up, you want to expand, you want to franchise. You don't want all of a sudden to blow up in whatever it is you're doing, and then you're trying to all of a sudden come up with this plan or organize yourself. You're gonna miss out on so many opportunities. You're not going to be ready to walk through the door because you're still going to be trying to get dressed when that door opens. I also want you guys to know, speaking of business plans, I just kicked off a weekly series on how to set up your business in 90 days or less. And all you need to stay focused on the things that you need to keep up with your progress as far as your goals go. I don't set up your business for you, but I streamline it and organize it where you see what you need to do. And if you have a business and you haven't done it, you can go by that guide and get yourself together. And it's only $30. And it comes with a planner, a free planner, a digital planner that you can use to keep up with everything. Now, this is if you don't have that money in the beginning to invest in the lawyers, the tax lawyers, and the business attorneys to set up your business structure. It's so you can get something down and get rolling. And when it's time to be scaled up, you got that plan when you go sit down and talk to that attorney or talk to that tax lawyer when you get ready to set up your trust or your multiple LLCs. And you really do need a business bank account. You actually need that before you file your paperwork because you need a record of how you're paying everything. You need proof when you go to paying all those things. And the IRS likes business bank accounts, and they like QuickBooks. QuickBooks is endorsed by the IRS. That is something to think about. And QuickBooks is not just software. Depending on your plan, they also have people that help you. You can get support through them. You don't have to go looking, making Facebook posts. Yeah, y'all know anybody that's an accountant or know anybody that's a bookkeeper? Sign up for QuickBooks. Stop getting headaches. Stop making stuff hard. It does not have to be. Y'all, it's coming up on March. And I told y'all I'm coming out with my visual podcast. And I'm going to be looking for guest hosts every week for my new podcast. Filming begins at the end of February. The show comes out at the end of March. So make sure if you want to get into that, kind of get your feet wet before you start your own thing, hey, holla at me, send me an email. Make sure you follow me on social media, Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram. Download me, please, on iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Deezer. There are some more, but I didn't write them down. But if you're listening to me on iHeart or on the Spreaker app, it will tell you what all I'm on. I appreciate you guys so much for the listens. And we're getting on down the road with this season. I'm getting ready to go into the next season and also the next season for just the show or the franchise. About to get all the way back to what I love doing, having conversations with people, discussing things. Until the next time, make sure you download so you can get the notifications every time I load up. Thank you so much. And you guys stay warm and I'll see you next time.